Jesse Marsch has been sacked as Leeds United manager, but who are they going to bring in to replace him to keep them in the Premier League this season? Hello guys, welcome back to yet another video. Big news in the Premier League today. Jesse Marsch has been sacked as Leeds United manager after less than a year in charge of the club. With the club 17th after a defeat against Nottingham Forest, they're hanging above the bottom three. Obviously, we've seen teams like Everton and Southampton replace their managers in an attempt to keep them in the Premier League. So let's have a little look and see who Leeds United might be able to bring in to keep them up. Obviously, Jesse Marsch getting sacked, my opinion is it did seem on the cards. They might have been able to give him another game or two, but do I think they'd have turned it around in that space of time? No, they've got massive games coming, including Manchester United next and some big 6-pointers later in February. So let's have a look at who the replacements could be. In 6th place, you have Michael Carrick. Now, Michael Carrick is doing a fantastic job with Middlesbrough at the moment. He hasn't entirely proved himself as a manager yet. From what he has done so far, we could say he's doing a great job, but he hasn't even had a full season with Middlesbrough yet. But what he has done so far, Middlesbrough fans are really impressed with. But it'd be a big jump to go straight into the Premier League and to try and keep them up in a relegation dogfight. He doesn't really have the experience, but could he be the one to do it? Perhaps. Up next, you have Rafa Benitez. It'll be interesting to see Rafa Benitez come in at Leeds United. Obviously, he's got a massive profile, great CV. He's managed some of the top clubs in Europe, and Leeds United are a big club, so they will look to bring in a big manager to keep them in the big league. Rafa Benitez, though, in a relegation dogfight, does seem an interesting one. At Everton, I wouldn't say he was perfect, and obviously Everton didn't want to be in a relegation dogfight to start off with. Could he be the one for Leeds? I'm not too sure about Rafa. Next up, Ralph Hasenhüttl, the former Southampton manager. Now, he does have Premier League experience, and I thought for a while he was quite good at Southampton. Obviously, they suffered a few 9-0 defeats here and there, but could he be the one to keep Leeds United in the Premier League? Leeds fans, let me know down below. I don't know if Ralph Hasenhüttl is the one for me. Just above him, in 3rd place, we find Mauricio Pochettino. Now, that would be some signing for Leeds United. Imagine Mauricio Pochettino in a relegation dogfight here. It's not impossible. Like I say, Leeds United are a big club. They'll be able to draw in a decent manager if they really go for it, but it would be weird to see him in a relegation dogfight. He's not really accustomed to that. Could he do a job? I think he'd be able to get a good tune out of some of these. Leeds United do have talented forward players, so could Mauricio Pochettino blast them up the league? Perhaps. Let's come on to number 2. 2nd place is Marcelo Bielsa, of course, and he was always going to be linked with this job when Jesse Marsch was to go one way or another. Could he come straight back in, though? I mean, it's not been a long time since he was last there. I've got to say, though, as a neutral, I always enjoyed Leeds United with Marcelo Bielsa, the football they used to play. Everton didn't opt with him to try and keep them up. Do Leeds go for him to try and keep them up? Obviously, they got rid of him before, but he was a fan's favourite before. Marcelo Bielsa did so well to get them to the Premier League. Could he be the guy to keep them up? And then coming in at top spot with the bookies is Carlos Corberán at West Bromwich Albion. Now, if you go off what he's done recently for West Brom, he has really turned them around. A bit like with Carrick at Middlesbrough, he has got them firing up the table. And this is a guy who's managed a couple clubs in England. He did a good job with Huddersfield Town. If he goes to Leeds, that'd be a really interesting appointment. The bookies have him at very strong favourites to come into Leeds United. The question is, if he does he keep them up? So then, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. If you're a Leeds United fan, I am intrigued to see what you think. Which manager comes in to replace Jesse Marsch in an attempt to keep this club up? It's an absolutely massive task with Leeds United being a big club. They've been back in the Premier League for a couple seasons, but they really need to stay there. Like I say, massive, passionate fan base, plenty of talent in that team, but you need to get the right tune of them to keep them up because the bottom 3 battle is so intense. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Do make sure to hit a like and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.